Hola perras. Today I'm gonna show you how to beat the fuck out of your face and catfish all the men in your area. I've been getting absolutely harassed and dragged on social media for an updated makeup routine, even though I've been having hella videos in my makeup playlist for a fat ass minute, but y'all clearly don't pay attention to me or some. Rude as fuck. And speaking of being rude as fuck, we're gonna go over some rude ass people that I ran into last year, the first time that I've ever been recognized in public. Now, I've only been doing social media for around 2 years now, right? And I definitely do not consider myself an influencer just because I feel like I haven't reached that status yet. Maybe once I get higher numbers and I do more things and get more opportunities, I'll actually feel like it. But even though I don't consider myself one, I definitely underestimate the amount of people that have seen my content, especially in my area, bro. I did not realize that I be on these people's For You pages. That's kind of weird. For You page and Explore page. So sometimes I don't even realize that people have seen my face. And I'm gonna tell y'all about a situation that happened last year when these girls actually recognized me at the local carnival. Meanwhile, some bitches, bro, some haters were laughing and recording me and about how with my luck, of course, I was surrounded by a ton of people from my past while I was in line for one of the rides. Like, shit was so awkward. So to set the scene for y'all, okay? My city has a local carnival that they hold every summer. And I was really excited to go last year in 2022 because I had just graduated from high school. And I was like so ready to enjoy my first summer as an adult, you know. I didn't have many friends at the time. I was a really big loner in high school. And I was really depressed and isolated my last 2 years. So I only had like 2 people to go with, which was fine. You know, I tried my best to stay positive, and I agreed to go with one of my friends. I'm gonna call her Betty for the sake of the video. And I think that it was either on a Sunday or a Friday that we were planning to go, because I remember this day, it was gonna be so nice out. And some of the other days were gonna be like, I don't know if they were gonna be rainy or windy or chilly or something. So we decided on this day, and also the carnival had been open like all week. And we're like, okay, well, maybe if we go this day, we won't run into anybody that we know. Now, my city's not the biggest, you know, so you'll definitely see people that you recognize. But we just didn't want to run into anybody that we knew personally or had any weird tensions with personally. So we're like, okay, you know, people usually go on Saturdays, and maybe we just won't see anybody. So we're like, okay, let's just go this day. So that's what we planned for, right? Last minute, I found out that her boyfriend was going to be tagging along with us, which was fine with me. Like, I really don't care. I was just more so anxious and kind of shy because I'm always anxious. If you know me, I'm a very anxious person. I get anxious for absolutely everything, especially when I'm hanging around somebody that I just do not know personally like that. So I was just nervous to see how it would go. But honestly, it went well. Like, when we first met up, she was cool. We got on a couple rides. Me and my friend were like catching up on some stuff, because me and Betty, we're not the type of friends that we talk consistently like every day or even every week, you know. We talk every few months because she already has her own life going on. Like, I have my own stuff. We're kind of at that point where we just talk and catch up here and there. And so this is what we're doing on this day, right? We're just catching up, talking about all the recent CHISME. And to be honest, shit was going pretty dope. Her boyfriend was super chill. It wasn't as awkward as I thought it was going to be. And I was honestly really excited to see how the night would turn out, because they be having those scary ass rides, bro. Those rides that be going upside down and shit. So I was just looking forward to all of that, because like I said, this was my first summer as like a legal adult, which I know probably doesn't mean that much to most of y'all, but my parents were always pretty strict when it came to letting me out to stuff like this while I was in high school and middle school. Like, my parents had just always been really protective of me, and this was gonna be like the first time that I was able to have a little bit more freedom with how late I was out and what I was able to do and who I was able to be with. And so I was just really excited, and I had never really gotten on any of like the scary rides, because I remember when I was little, I didn't know I was getting on the kamikaze, bro. And if y'all have not ridden the kamikaze, it's the shit that literally be going around in a circle, like you be going upside down. And I was like 8 years old when I got on this bitch, and I didn't know what it was. And so ever since then, I was absolutely scarred, and I didn't want to get on anything ever again. But I was like, nah, like, this is my night out. I gotta enjoy this. I'm gonna get on some fun ass rides. So I was looking forward to that. And after a couple of like simple rides that we got on, we decided to get on like in line for this one that's called like the freak out ride. It's the one that be turning upside down and shit. And I'm gonna put a picture here in the video, right? But this one, we were hyped as hell to get on this one. And as soon as we were walking towards the line, bro, I noticed one of my old situationships, bro. I was like, ain't no way. I don't think bro even saw me there, or maybe he did and he was just like not paying attention to me, because he was sitting down with some girl. There was like a bench next to the freak out ride, and he was sitting down talking to some girl, and I was like, oh my god, like, shit is so awkward. They're literally watching the ride that we're about to get on. And in that moment, I shat my pants, because we had just stopped talking like when, like that previous that previous December. And he had tried to message me a couple times up until like that summer, and I just kind of rejected it, because I feel like bro really played with my feelings. And whether he chooses to see it that way or not, that's simply just how I felt, you know. If y'all knew the circumstances, maybe y'all would understand what I mean. But I was like, I don't know, kind of weirded out, because I was seeing him with someone, you know, new, and it was just very odd. I wasn't bothered, because I knew I had raised my standards since like our little talking stage, but it was just very odd, you know. And I was praying he wouldn't see me, and so we just kept walking in towards the line. And bro, when I tell y'all that the people in line in front of us just so happened to be my ex's new girlfriend, and a bunch of other girls in like that little group that they came in, because they all travel in like a herd. They travel in a pack. It be him, his brothers, cousins, and then all the novias, and then the siblings, and all of them just always travel in a big group. And so it was all the girls, all the women in that group that were in front of us in line. And I literally pissed my pants. Not because I was intimidated, because hell no. I had left him, and it was just the first time I had ever seen him with someone new, since we had ended things a year prior to that. We had been together for a while. So it was just really odd. Like I mentioned earlier, it's just always really odd seeing your past with their new future. And it was just more odd because bro had literally told me he still loved me like a couple months prior, in like December of that previous year. So I was like, what the heck, bro? I didn't even know you were serious with someone. But it's like, it's not a big deal, because like I had my situationship, and I didn't realize, I didn't realize bro was already seeing someone. And so it was just really awkward. Also, just because my friend Betty, she was friends with one of the girls that was in line in front of us. And so she's talking to that girl, her boyfriend's talking to that girl because they knew her. And I got a little bit mean mugged from the new novia and the other girls. And I'm hearing all the boyfriends, including my ex and his cousins and the brothers, laughing behind me. I don't know if they were laughing at me or they were just laughing, but I could hear the laughter behind me because they weren't waiting in line. They were standing behind the ride so that they could watch, the girls get on. So at that moment, I was literally surrounded by everyone. Like all the girls in front of me, situationship on the right of the ride watching, and my ex and his family like right behind me. Like I was trapped. And I obviously wasn't gonna let it ruin my mood though. Just because it was an uncomfortable situation doesn't mean that I'm gonna let it get to me. So I just enjoyed the ride. You know, I screamed my head off. It was really fun. And afterwards, we were just laughing, and we were super hungry. Ever since I had first gotten in, I was craving some funnel cake. So we decided to just go get some. You know, we're gonna get some food, gonna get some funnel cake, some drinks, and then we'll ride a couple more times after, and we'll be done. And so as we're headed there, right, I'm minding my business. I'm super hyped to eat, craving this funnel cake. I can smell it. My saliva is dripping out my mouth thinking about it. And all of a sudden, 2 bodies just hit me. And I was scared. I'm not gonna lie, I was scared. And I just remember 2 girls were wrapping themselves around me out of nowhere. And let's not forget that I'm not even 5 feet tall, bro. So I'm like, damn it, like, I'm getting jumped right now. Like, I was not even aware enough to see who it was that was on me. But then I realized that they were hugging me. They just like ran up to me and hugged me. And so I was scared just because like I was already left uncomfortable from what just happened. And then all of a sudden I just feel random people on me. And then they step back and they're like, oh my God, we didn't know you lived here. We follow you on TikTok. Like, can we take a picture with you? And I kid you not, for a second, I questioned whether they were pranking me. I was like, bro, if someone just paid these girls to come up to me right now, like, that's so embarrassing. But I asked them, I think I was like, wait, are you for real? Like, you're being serious? And they were like, no, yeah, like, we didn't know you were from here, blah, blah, blah. And so we started taking pictures together, and it was so cute, bro. They were the sweetest. And for a second, I looked around because I was like, shoot, my friend. Like, I don't even know where my friend's at. And so I'm looking around for Betty, and as I was looking, bro, I noticed that pack again, standing in their little group, a little bit away from us, and I could tell that they had noticed me, cause I saw some motherfuckers laughing and staring at my direction, and some panzón was recording me, which I could tell, cause he was not being slick about it at all. And maybe I'm tripping, you know. Let's give them the best and say that maybe they were just laughing amongst each other and he was recording the ride or the food because he obviously loves food so much. But I saw what I saw in the moment and my heart dropped. I'm not gonna lie. You have no idea how embarrassing it feels to think that motherfuckers are literally shitting on me for my accomplishment. Like, that is so whack. And it's always those who preach kindness that be envidiosos about shit, and they weren't, you know, they just aren't able to achieve things for themselves, so they gotta hate on other people. And I was trying so hard to not let it get to me while I was taking photos with them, bro, because at the end of the day, it's not their fault. You know, they were going out of their way to talk to me. And honestly, I really used that situation to be a lot stronger about uncomfortable situations moving forward from that. I'ma always appreciate those girls and their kindness for making my day way brighter after such an uncomfortable situation. Because if they literally would not have stopped me and talked to me, I would have eventually run into that group all over again, and my night would have been so much more uncomfortable. Like, they really saved my ass and low-key made me look cool. I'm not gonna lie, they made me look cool at the most perfect moment. Even though it sucks that people have to be negative just because I'm doing well after a situation that I chose to leave, I still deserve to be happy and reach my goals after what I've experienced and what I've put up with. And those who continue to hate and shit on me will eventually get their karma as time proceeds. I've already noticed that it's hit some people in one way or another. But it happens. Always remember that what comes around goes around. And you gotta keep in mind that once y'all follow this makeup tutorial and you look bad as fuck, you gotta keep that bad bitch appearance by being a kind-hearted individual. Don't go being like those haters. Don't be raining on other people's parades just because you're unhappy with yourself and you're jealous. Okay, baddies don't shit on other people. Just like you got a beautiful face, you gotta maintain a beautiful soul. And if you get shit on, you wipe off that caca and you keep it pushing just like I did. Cause you don't see me letting that bother me. Here I am a whole year later and I have what, like 100,000 more of y'all? I'm doing way better than I was then. You'll know you're doing something right if you got haters. So let that be a little life lesson, okay? I hope you enjoyed the CHISME. Hope you get your makeup done right. And I hope you have a good day. I love you.
Star-Spangled Banner yet wave Or the land of the free, free, of the free, land of the free.